White Gate 3, Scott Nichols, 24 next week, races for Wrocław in the Polish League. Jarek Hampel is on the outside, the 20-year-old, the youngest rider in the field. Heat number 1, of course, all of them start in the early stages to make their way through to the main event. There is Mark Laram, Peter Collins alongside me, a previous world champion. How nervous will Mark be for this one, Peter? There's our starting marshal moving away. Big Poss away, the Brit is a referee. He comes from Oxfordshire. Away on the inside, Mark Laram in the red helmet colours. Look at the battle in blue. Krzysztof Szygelski, the man in white, going round there. It's Scott Nichols, and look at Nichols riding for his life here. But in red, Mark Laram fighting back. At the back, it's Jarek Hampel. But a real battle between Krzysztof Szygelski in blue, Mark Laram in red, Scott Nichols in white. Hampel left at the rear. We've a battle out front, Peter.
Szygelski looking good out front. Scott Nichols just in third place, pushed a little bit wide on the first lap, but Mark Laram has got a good line on the inside here, trying his best to come inside here of Krzysztof Szygelski.
Mark Laram knows the track. He rides for Bydgoszcz here in the Polish League. He's chasing Szygelski. The second place will be good enough for Mark Laram, but it will mean he goes to gate 3 in heat 8 if he does it. If he gets to the front, he'll get gate 1 next time out. Szygelski into the final lap. Scott Nichols is chasing in third place. Szygelski going wider as the dirt moves out. Laram continues to track him. Laram continues to put Szygelski under some pressure up front, but Szygelski is going to win this in the blue helmet colours. The cheers of the Poles greet him as he crosses the line in the blue helmet colours. Mark Laram in second place in red. Third in white is Scott Nichols. He will have to go again, Scott Nichols, in heat 5 to stay in the meeting. But Krzysztof Szygelski, the man there in the blue helmet colours.
Third place, but all the way through this race, Mark Laram was just plugging away round the inside. It's the best way round the track at this moment here in heat 1, but he just couldn't get a gap there wide enough to get that bike through, and Szygelski there right.
One of 3 riders who raced in every Grand Prix today. Andy Smith. His birthday today, born in 1966. He goes from gate 2. In gate 3, it's Andreas Johnson, the Coventry Swede, of course, who rides in the World Under-21 Championship. Andy Smith, the man in blue there, on much better equipment this time. He's made it out here by road. And Andy Smith, of course, a man who formerly rode for Bydgoszcz in the Polish League. And man in red there is Greg Hancock, with 43 Grand Prix. Well, a very humid evening here in Bydgoszcz, and the riders, well, they're going to be hot when they finish this. Our starting marshal again moves away. The red lights flash and away they go. And left at the tapes there is Andy Smith. The referee is letting it go. The race goes on. Problems for Andy Smith. The disappointment for Andy continues. But for this man in white, Andreas Johnson, he flattered a bit to deceive in the Norwegian Grand Prix in Hammer, but he's going like a bomb here in front of Protasevich in second place and Greg Hancock back in third. A 3-rider race now. Time to look back for Johnson, who surely now is one of the best riders in the world, Peter.
Andy Smith there, a mechanical failure on the line, but Andreas Johnson riding so good. The Swede looks so fast on that bike, and the way he's going, he's just got a slight advantage over Protasevich, the home man, and will it stay like that?
Well, Protasevich is there. I think Andreas Johnson seems to have something in hand. He's having time to look back at Protasevich. Really, it matters little, providing they finish in the front two, because they march on, and the man in red, Greg Hancock, will have to go again. But these two almost glued together down the back straight in front of 25,000 fans, most of them from Poland here. Enjoy this one. And the man in yellow, there is Peter Protasevich in second place, but the winner, Andreas Johnson in white. The Poles pretty happy with that. Their men march on as they did in the first one. Protasevich in second place, but a great win for this man, Andreas Johnson.
Yeah, off the starting gate there, Andy Smith never moved, certainly a mechanical failure. Into the corner, Greg Hancock seems to have made a good one from the inside, drifts too wide, but a great manoeuvre here from the outside there, from Andreas Johnson. Takes
Gollum goes from the inside in red. Lucas Driver, the 21-year-old Czech Republic rider, goes from gate 2. Nicky Pedersen, he goes from gate 3, and on the outside, Matty Furrier. Nicky Pedersen hasn't... Matty Furrier there's the median on the outside. Again, the starting marshal moves away. Oh, they try to creep. That was a bit of a mess of a start. Under the finger on a big boss away. And down goes Nicky Pedersen. He's already suffering from a wrist injury. That won't be the start he wanted, but the race is stopped by our referee. I don't know whether he saw some bunching there, whether he thought it was unfair, or whether Nicky Pedersen will face the chop, or whether he just thought it was dangerous. But trouble for Nicky Pedersen there, already suffering from a wrist injury, pointing at the track there. He believes it was a bumpy hit, and that's difficult pretty early early on. Already suffering from that wrist injury, Peter, and Nicky Pedersen, well, disappointment for him there. But all four riders we hear are back in from the referee, so all four will restart. We'll see it again, Peter.
Yeah, off the start, Nicky Pedersen in the white there. As they come into the first corner, he really does get squeezed there. The rear wheel of Lucas Drimmel takes his front wheel away, and we seem to see this so often with Nicky in the GPs. Certainly 2 weeks ago, he had a horrendous crash with Rooney Halter, and he has got a broken bone in his wrist. And there he is again, sat on the track, and very disappointing for him, because it seems to be.
Goes to gate 2. Nicky Pedersen goes to gate 3, subject to beating the 2 minutes. On the outside will be Matty Furrier, but there's the man in a rush, Nicky Pedersen. Away they go this time. The tapes go up much more quickly. Nicky Pedersen comes across, but the referee letting them go this time. And on the inside in white there, Nicky Pedersen makes up for it. Being chased down the back straight, but now Golub comes through in red. Back in third place in yellow, Matty Furrier. Tailed off at the rear is Lucas Drimmel, but what an effort by Nicky Pedersen. Up off the dirt and now into action, and he's being chased by Thomas Golub.
Yes, Nicky Pedersen's got a great line, but Golub's gone round the outside of him. Now that is such a lot to do with home track knowledge here. Thomas Golub knows this track like the back of his hand. He tried inside, outside, and did a really sweet manoeuvre there to go round the very fast starting Nicky Pedersen.
Golub looking more at home than he has in Grand Prix for some while here. He's on his home track. He's showing rare speed, Thomas Golub, and the confidence that goes with it as he goes into the final lap. Golub in the red helmet colour. Second place, Nicky Pedersen in white, who took a tumble first time out. Moving into third in Lucas Drimmel, but he and Matej Furrier at the back will have to go again in heats 5 and 6. But look at this man, Thomas Golub. Time to look back as he comes round the final bend, and Thomas Golub wins that ahead of Nicky Pedersen. Both of those will march on. The man in blue, Lucas Drimmel, will have to go again, as will Matej Furrier in yellow. But a magnificent ride by this man.
Lucas Drimmel to come inside Furrier, who was in third place up until the last lap, and there's Golub over the line for the win.
97th Polish junior champion, gate 2, Nicholas Klingberg, Sebastian Ulemek, 26-year-old Kings Lynn rider in the British Elite League, and on the outside, Rooney Halter. That's the lineup. This. Away they go then. This is heat number 4. On the inside in blue there, making it well. Nicholas Klingberg going very, very wide. At the back in white there's Ulemek. In yellow and black, wide to the outside goes Halter. And this man here, Nicholas Klingberg, got just the start he wanted. The chase is on for the man in white, Sebastian Ulemek. But down they go, and now determination takes over. Back at the rear, there's going to have to be work for Rooney Halter, and he's putting it on, but squeezed out there by Balasek. And out front in blue, Nicholas Klingberg. The man in white is Sebastian Ulemek.
Yes, Klingberg looking very good, but Ulemek right down the inside. He's come the shortest way, as Golub did in the previous heat, but also Klingberg still in the hunt now. He's on the tight straight line, turns late, gets his back wheel there into the side of Ulemek. Really ding-dong battle here going on between these two.
Lap and a half to go, and really anybody's battle in this one. On the inside it's Ulemek in white, going wide in blue there is Klingberg. Trying to catch them in yellow is Rooney Halter, who's stepped up a gear. Right at the rear, disappointment from the poles in Greg Balasek. But the man in white here, Sebastian Ulemek, is going to produce Polish cheers once again. Second place in blue is Nicholas Klingberg. It was a ding-dong battle between those two. Real disappointment there. Rooney Halter, it was, of course, who came in third in yellow there. He will have to go again. Two Brits, Scott Nichols and Andy Smith. Lucas Drimmel from the Czech Republic, Greg Balasek. Remember, the last two riders are eliminated. The front two march on. Peter, can we get Brits 1 and 2 here? Remember, the last two are eliminated. And we should watch the Brits. In the red helmet colour is Scott Nichols right on the inside. Andy Smith, the man a bit nearer to us here in white. Away goes that starting marshal up by the tapes. Scott Nichols gets a flyer on the inside. Can he keep it there? They're trying to cut back under him. Andy Smith moves into second place. Back in third place is Balasek, pushing through in blue. Into third place is Drimmel, but it is the Brits 1 and 2. Can Andy Smith hold on there? In front, moving away, is Scott Nichols. Can the Brits do some team riding? Nichols doesn't need protecting. Smith could march on.
For the English boys, it needs to stay like this. Andy Smith now's putting a bit of distance between himself now and Greg Balasek. Lucas Trimmel's gone to the back, but out in front, Scott Nichols looking oh so good.
Yes, Scott Nichols on the third lap, stretching his lead. Andy Smith picking his position on the track. It's a track he's familiar with, having ridden in the past for Bydgoszcz here in the Polish Elite League. Bit of pressure on him now, but Smith surely can keep it going. Vanasek's the man putting him under pressure. It's going to be Vanasek and Dribble going home if it stays like this. Can Smith hang on? Just over half a lap to go as Vanasek puts the pressure on. Nichols out front will keep that lead. Nichols is okay. Smith is going to be okay. A marvellous ride. Andy Smith has made it into second place. Greg Vanasek goes home. He's in third place in yellow. In blue, Lucas Dribble could go home. Disappointment for them, but triumph. The United States goes in gate 1. Rudy Holter from Norway, gate 2. Yannick Hampel goes in gate 3 from Poland. Matty Furjan from Slovenia there, we see in front of us there. And certainly work for them to do here. And, well, Hancock must be fancied in this one, Peter, going... in this one in red. Away they go, but pressure on him. Rudy Holter picks up speed there in the blue helmet colours. Round the outside in white goes Yannick Hampel, trying to take on and go past Hancock. Hancock closes the gate in second place, but faces a battle at the rear. Disappointment for Furjan, but Hampel in white is chasing there on the outside. Hancock is having to produce his very best. Out front in blue, it's Rudy Holter. A surprise package there, but Hancock looks now to have done enough, and Hampel has work to do if he's going to stay in this event.
Rudy Holter, the world-class Norwegian out in front. We haven't seen him in the UK riding in the Elite League. I don't really know why, because he's certainly good enough, but behind him, Greg Hancock got that second place, and that will certainly take him through.
Greg Hancock will want to do this. Disappointment for Hampel becomes the first pole, or the second pole to go out now in this one. And into the final lap they go. The man in blue, Rudy Holter, rare pace. Hancock looking back in his wake finds Hampel as they stretch out down the back straight. But no doubt about this man to take the checkered flag. Rudy Holter, a little wheelie as he goes across the line. Greg Hancock in second place in white. Yannick Hampel third. Matty Furjan in yellow. Both go out, and for the second time in successive Grand Prix. Thomas Golov in gate 2. Krzysztof Sigelski, who won heat number 1, goes on the inside gate in red. Thomas Golov, who won heat number 3, goes from gate 2. Peter Protasevich, second in heat number 2. He goes in white from gate 3. First time out, but here they go now for heat number 7. Line abreast on the inside there. The man in blue, Thomas Golov, but he goes wide, drifts really wide, holding on the inside in red, but Golov comes back with grip and takes with it Peter Protasevich. And the two Bydgoszcz riders, 1 and 2 in this one. In blue, Golov round the outside. In white, looking back is Protasevich. Back in third place in red is Sigelski. Back at the rear in yellow is Nicholas Klingberg. But Golov is showing the home track advantage here, and Protasevich isn't far behind.
Yes, Tony, Thomas Golov will probably have done more laps around this circuit than anybody in their lifetimes, because he'll have practiced on this circuit during the week, all the time he's been riding here, but he's not looking that quick to me. He's possibly got a problem with his bike. He was really coaxing it with that throttle. You can see there that he's really not holding a good lead.
Maybe just feels he's got a bit in hand, doesn't want to do anything desperate. Thomas Golov in the blue helmet colours, but look at the battle in second place, because Protasevich is being put under some pressure by Sigelski, who's tried the outside but isn't going to make it. He will come back. He's not going to be eliminated from this, but certainly the man in blue who wins that ahead of Peter Protasevich. The man in blue, of course, that man there, the number 1. Sweden, Andres Johnson on the inside. Sebastian Ulemek from Poland goes in gate 2. Member races in Britain for Kingsley. Mark Moran, he's born. This is number 8. First two go through automatically to the main event. Mark would love to be one of them. On the inside in red, it's Andres Johnson. It's Sebastian Ulemek, but look at Mark Moran in the white helmet colours, picking up the outside and going from last to first. This is the Mark Moran that we know. This is the man we saw win the world title back in 2000. And of course he races in the Polish League for Bydgoszcz, and he's found something a bit special here.
Yeah, when Mark's got a clear track like this, he can really keep the speed up, get the wheels in line early, chase that dirt out wide. He's doing exactly that there. The rider in blue, Sebastian Ulemek, going really well there, but he looks to me as though he's going to have only a second here.
A second will do. It'll ensure that Ulemek goes through to the main event. But there's quite a battle going on there, because Nicky Pedersen is chasing him, and not far away is Andres Johnson. It surprises me to see him at the back after his earlier ride, but Mark Moran is looking very, very good indeed, opening up a massive gap of some 30 metres down that back straight. And we haven't seen Mark go like this for ages. Don't know where it's come from, but what a tremendous ride. He shot away from the tapes, and now he's at the checkered flag, Mark Moran. And second place goes to the man in blue there, Sebastian Ulamek, doing exactly what he wanted. And that's to move through to the main event. The Poles will be happy, but Mark Moran will be even happy.
The white helmet going into the league, but just look how wide he is. His back wheel's on that dark part of the circuit, which is where most of the grip is right.
To 12 on a short lead. The world champion in red, Jason Crump, second in the World Championship last year, goes from gate 2, winner of the Polish Grand Prix last year. Lee Adams, the Aussie from Mildura, he goes from gate 3, and on the outside goes Todd Wiltshire in yellow. Todd Wiltshire, of course, he's registered as a Bydgoszcz rider here in Poland, Peter, but he hasn't ridden this year in the Polish League. This is heat number 9, Ricardson on the inside, watching up by the tape. Tony Ricardson in red, familiar to the apex of the bend. Burnsford drifting wide, coming through on the inside. Todd Wiltshire in yellow to chase him, on blue on the outside. That's Jason Crump. Crump now moves into second place. Can he pick up enough grip, or is he going to die? In white, it's Lee Adams coming through here. A disappointment for Jason Crump, but look at Tony Ricardson out front, and Ricardson is doing the business. Jason Crump is back in third place. Lee Adams in fourth. Crump and Wiltshire battling here, the two Australians. We have a battle in second place, but once again, Tony Ricardson's way out in front.
Yeah, Crump and Wiltshire side by side. Lee Adams right back in the picture. These three Australians going hammer and tong here, but they've got no answer to Tony Ricardson, who's just trying those different lines on the circuit, different corners, and finding out where all that grip is.
Anything but waltzing Matilda. Amber drives out front. Tony Ricardson in the lead. The Swedes beating the Aussies. Crump moves into second place. Ensures a red helmet colour next time out. That's an inside gate, but Tony Ricardson again superb, the world champion. Jason Crump moves into second place in blue there, and that means that both of those two get an inside gate. From the thumbs up from Tony Ricardson. He knows only too well that he's the Australian races from the inside. Michael Carlson, the Swede, has done so well in the last 3 Grand Prix he's competed in, has made the final in each and every one of them. Carl Stonehill goes in white, the Workington man, the only Premier League rider in this World Championship. And Billy Hamill, of course, from the outside in yellow, a former world champion. But there, so nearly a flyer there. I wonder if the referee will call it back, but certainly out front, Ryan Sullivan goes wide, and now look at the challenge here from Michael Carlson, but Sullivan comes back again. Carlson in second place, Carl Stonehill back in third. Come on, Stoney, back at the rear is Billy Hamill. Oh, Hamill lifts and almost comes off. Disappointment for him there. Now he's going to have to settle for last place, but that will only sort out the sheep for the goats in the next race, and Ryan Sullivan is fast again.
Rock solid Ryan Sullivan out in front again. He doesn't look as though he's working particularly hard on that bike, but he goes so well. You see him all the time in the league racing with Peterborough, always out in front or just about, being chased by Michael Carlson, but now they're moving out wider into that dirt.
They're riding at the same line. They take a ride at Peterborough, Peter. I said this track was similar, 348 metres, a big track here in Bydgoszcz. They go wide there, Ryan Sullivan certainly, and Ryan Sullivan having this in the final lap down that back straight, very much as he wants it, and certainly Ryan Sullivan absolutely delighted to win that one in red. Second place there, just across the line now. In white is Carl Stonehill, pleased with that. And Michael Carlson, well, it all went a little bit wrong for him, but Stonehill will be quite pleased. Eliminator heat. Krzysztof Shigelski from Poland goes on the inside. Andreas Johnson goes gate 2. Scott Nichols, we're cheering for him, gate 3. Greg Hancock, a former world champion, he goes from the outside. The last British Grand Prix, Millennium Stadium, 2 weeks today. This is heat 11. Away they go. Look at the man in blue there, Andreas Johnson, back to form, almost going on the grass in red there, Krzysztof Shigelski. Oh, he almost locks up completely, just like Peterborough on the grass here, but in blue there, Andreas Johnson, no mistakes at the moment. Scott Nichols battling for that second place. Come on, Scott, keep going. Remember, we want the Brits to stay in this one. Scott Nichols going a shade wide. Greg Hancock coming through the inside. How Nichols picks up grip when he wants it, but the chase is on, and out front, Johnson's on his own, and the battle for that other place is right here, Peter.
Scott Nichols has got to hang on to that second place. He's coming under big pressure from Greg Hancock, and here the third and fourth are going to be eliminated. That second place is so important for Scotty. He's just got enough speed at the moment. Greg Hancock is now very, very wide in the grip. Can Scott Nichols just do enough to hang on?
Just over half a lap to go. Scott Nichols is going to have to watch Greg Hancock right behind him. Way out in front in blue, Andreas Johnson. He's got the race certainly collared here. Nichols goes wide. Hancock looks back. Nichols marches on in white there in second place. Greg Hancock looks down as his machine as he tumbles out of the Grand Prix. A world champion is out, but this man, Andreas Johnson, knows what he wanted to do. Disappointment from Krzysztof Cegielski. The Poles won't have enjoyed that one, but certainly the Brits have, because Scott here, as you see the flashing on the bottom of your screen, Sebastian Ulemek goes from the inside. I have to say that I don't think that's right. I think that should have been some... Let's see what happens here. Can Andy Smith join the Brits? Well, we'll have to wait and see. It could be a good night for the Brits. A bit of movement there on the inside in the red helmet colours there. A great effort here from Nicky Pedersen, but can he keep it going? But now yellow coming through there. Brilliant ride by Andy Smith. That's exactly what we want to see, because Smith read it right. His Bydgoszcz experience. Could this be the night for Andy Smith? The chase is on. The man in white is Rudy Holter, who went so well last time out. Back in third place in blue at the moment. Here's Nicholas Klingberg, and right at the rear now is Nicky Pedersen. But what a ride by Smithy.
Yeah, fantastic manoeuvre there from Andy Smith on the first turn. He missed the start from gate 4. He cut right back to the inside, as we saw Carl Stonia doing the Norwegian GP 2 weeks ago. Last to first in one hit, and he's out in front now, being chased by Rudy Holter from Norway.
Andy Smith in front, Rudy Holter from Norway in second place. Disappointment for the others. Nicky Pedersen having a disaster in this one. Nicky Pedersen in third place. Right at the back is Nicholas Klingberg. But what a result this is for Andy Smith. Down that back straight. He's within 50 metres now of the checkered flag. A tremendous ride. Look at the leg going up for Andy Smith. Could it be the night for the man from York? Born in World Cup winning year in 1966, and what a tremendous effort by Andy Smith to take that ahead of Rudy Holter. The other two are eliminated. Of course, if you win all your races having started on the inside, you finish up on the inside until you draw for places in the semi-final and final. Tony Rickardsson of Sweden on the inside. Michael Carlson of Sweden goes from gate 2. Thomas Golov from gate 3. Rudy Holter from the outside. Michael Carlson down at the tape. Up by the tape, away they go. Rickardsson on the inside again. Golov blocked out. The man in blue in second place. Michael Carlson. Golov right at the back and caught. Moving into second place in yellow. Now Rudy Holter. Holter putting Rickardsson under some sort of pressure. But Rickardsson, the master of the track. He'll select where he's going. But Golov amazingly tailed off at the back. Disappointment for him. But Rickardsson once again is flying.
Yes, Holter is pretty close to Rickardsson. That was the closest anyone's been to Rickardsson here, but really now Tony's got a bit of a lead. He's feeling for that dirt with that back wheel. That new tyre really working well. Everybody putting brand new edges on, brand new tyres every time they go out, and they really work in that dirt that's forming around the outside.
But Thomas Golov just coming into your picture, really got it all wrong. Now he's starting to get it right, but probably too late for this time up as we go into the final lap now, with Tony Rickardsson picking his spot on the track way out front. And Tony Rickardsson once again is going to take the checkered flag. The man in yellow, Rudy Holter, now coming under pressure for Michael Carlson here. But Rudy Holter, the Norwegian, will hang on, and Rudy Holter gets that second place. Third place goes to Michael Carlson in blue. And Thomas Golov, well, you could have bet against that, in white, is right at the back. And Golov will have to stay out of the back too.
Eliminated, but Mark's got the unfortunate gate in this one, I think.
OK, well, let's go back to Tony at track.
Carl Stonehill on the inside from Workington. Gate 2, Todd Wiltshire not racing in Britain this year, the Aussie. Gate 3, Mark Naram from Eastbourne, the 2000 world champion. Heat 14. Rickardsson already a winner in the main event. What's going to happen here? Away they go. Left of the tapes a little bit, Carl Stonehill. Mark Naram in white now, moving into second place and tracking the man in blue, Todd Wiltshire. Wiltshire, the Aussie, in front. Naram in second place. Scott Nichols moves through into third. At the back in red, it's Carl Stonehill. One Brit certainly here. Naram looks to have done enough to march on. The other surely will have to go again. Wiltshire looking good, being put under pressure by Naram. Quite a race here, Peter.
Mark Naram is looking so good there. Todd Wiltshire's ahead of him, but Mark really does look quicker than Todd. He's riding some good lines, getting very, very close to him. Also in the picture, Scotty Nichols riding that outside line in that dirt, and he's going to go round them if he's not careful.
Well, he nearly went too far there, Scott Nichols, intended to have to pull up. Mark Naram looks to be riding with some comfort. Todd Wiltshire certainly looking comfortable out front. And Todd Wiltshire, of course, who won through to the one stretch from the main final last time out. But look at that man, Naram, going through now and taking Todd Wiltshire. Another brilliant ride by Mark Naram. This man is brilliant tonight. Mark Haram takes the checkered flag. A semi-wheelie indeed for Mark there, ahead of Todd Wiltshire. But what a ride by this man, Mark Haram. He went by when there didn't look to be any space. He had some comfort all the way around. Was it like Frankie Notorious?
Ever so gradually, at this point they get so close, but Mark just kept coming. In the end, Mark had got the speed, looking real good to go by the very fast starting Todd Wiltshire.
Could he be first to take the checkered flag? Jason Crump from Australia on the inside. Billy Hamill from the USA goes from gate 2. Peter Protasevich, of course, races for Peterborough in Britain, racing here on his home track in Poland for Bydgoszcz. 3 of the semis. He aimed to get there, and then it's straight knockout. Our starting marshal moves away. This is the main event. Away they go. A tremendous fly from Billy Hamill in blue. Inside of his Jason Crump in red. Look at Andy Smith cutting back and trying to challenge, but he's going to lose out there as he misses the grip. And going through in white is Peter Protasevich. This is not an eliminator. Andy Smith will still be in it after this, even if he finishes last. But flying out front now, Billy Hamill, Jason Crump in pursuit. They're struggling to find which part of the track is best. They look locked together down that back straight. Hamill, a former world champion. Could Crump be one? A fine race.
Certainly a good time for Billy Hamill to get his act together, because this time he is looking much quicker than the earlier heats. Round the outside, Jason Crump, he'll probably be quite happy with second place, but I don't think he's going to go by Billy Hamill. Billy is really going well in this race.
If he takes second place, it means an outside gate in heat 20. Crump may not like that, but who knows if he goes for the dirt. Billy Hamill, if he wins this, will get gate 2 in heat 19. That's how it's going to battle out. This is heat 15. This is the final lap, coming round the final bend here. Now, Jason Crump and Billy Hamill. Billy Hamill in the blue, Jason Crump in the red. In third place, just in white, was Peter Protasevich. Andy Smith in last in the end in yellow. They all live to fight another day. But certainly for my money, that's how it finished. They'll be looking to split third and fourth. That is Ryan Sullivan. Won heat 10 to get to this stage. Next to him, fellow Aussie Lee Adams from Mildura in Victoria. Sebastian Ulemek, of course, the Polish rider who races for Kings Lynn, the 26-year-old. On the outside, Andreas Johnson, who looks so good.
The perfect rider.
Well, let's see the tape flap and away they go. This time the man in blue, Lee Adams, fellow Australian, locked in with Sullivan moving backwards, because coming through or trying to come through in white there was Sebastian Ulemek. But he's now passed on the outside by Andreas Johnson. Johnson locks up and makes a complete dog's ear of that one. And down the back straight now, and into this straight comes the man in blue, Lee Adams in front. Second place, Ryan Sullivan, Australia 1 and 2. In third place there is Sebastian Ulemek, the Pole. He'll have to go again. And 2 Aussies showing their class here. Lee Adams, who races for Oxford in the British League. Ryan Sullivan for Peterborough, 1 and 2.
Yes, Lee Adams showing really good in this race. Made a good start, holding Ryan Sullivan back. Ryan still looks very quick though, but there's a big scrap here at the back with Andreas Johnson and Sebastian Ulemek for those minor placings. But still, out in front, Lee Adams just holding from Ryan Sullivan.
Into the final lap. It doesn't really matter what order the back 2 finish in, because they'll have to go again to stay in the event. But certainly for these 2, it means they march on and are 1 race from the semi-final. Time for Adams to look back. The winner in blue, no doubt, is Lee Adams there. Ryan Sullivan in red takes second place. And Sebastian Ulemek and Andreas Johnson. Johnson wear the white helmet colours on the outside, Sebastian Ulemek. Michael Carlson from Sweden. Peter Protasevich from Poland. Carl Stonehill from England. Sebastian Ulemek from Poland. That's the line. On the way back to Workington. I think they race Sheffield tomorrow night. Long journey for him. Once again, away they go. On the inside, Michael Carlson. Protasevich goes wide. Stonehill in the white helmet colours will try and cut under. Can't. He's in third place now. Dropping back to fourth. Out front in red is Carlson. Protasevich second place. Third place to Ulemek. At the back is Carl Stonehill. Looks like it could be tumbling out of the Grand Prix if it stays like this. But Michael Carlson is flying and going wider.
Yes, Michael's really chasing that dirt out there and looking very, very fast. Michael's not had the best of luck breaking that primary chain early on in the meeting, but he's going like a train in this one, Tony.
Yes, Michael Carlson taking on the challenge of the dirt, certainly coming out of that second bend. Peter Protasevich in pursuit, 1 and 2. Remember, they'll march on, but the last 2 will be eliminated, and Grand Prix points at a premium. But Andy Smith has yet to race. Carl Stonehill will be proud of his night. Mark Ram has yet to go as well. The Brits are still very much in the hunt as they change places there. Protasiewicz in front, battling with Carlson. They both go on basically to the next stage, to heats 21 and 22. It doesn't matter really which order they finish in, but in the end the man in blue has just done it. That's Peter Protasiewicz ahead of Michael Carlson in red in second place, and the Polish fans who back him, the wild card here in their league side here in Bydgoszcz.
Although the quicker man all the way was Protasiewicz, because in the end he just managed to sneak by Michael Carlson to take the win, and the pair of these, do be honest Tony, they're pretty consistent all the way across. You can see that gate 4 is quite polished. Andy Smith's on gate 4. But we know if Andy misses it, he is going to cut back up the inside. But Scotty Nichols is
the outside Andy Smith. The first two march on. One race from the semi-finals. The last two, well, they can go home and will be eliminated. Away they go. Thomas Golub has work to do. He's going wide there, but picking it up well is Andrew. Look at Andy Smith! Andy Smith comes right through on the inside. I suggested he couldn't do it, but now he's got a battle because Thomas Golub has cut by, and Smith will have to battle up the inside. Wide on the outside, Andreas Johnson. Smith is still in it, battling for second place. Golub in white is in front. Perhaps the best race of the night, Peter.
Yeah, Andy Smith knows his way around this circuit. He used to ride for Bydgoszcz here, but I think his challenge is now gone. It all happened on the first turn. He did a great first corner there, last to first, but Thomas Golub nipped through and followed through there by Andreas Johnson, but Andy's not given up. But it looks to me, though, as Thomas Golub is way out in front.
Lap and a quarter to go. Can Andy Smith battle through into second place? No doubt about Golub, barring mechanical failure, as he goes into the final lap. Andreas Johnson, remember, locked up before. Smith is still challenging in third place. Johnson just stretching it a little bit. Round the top bend, the last challenge for Andy Smith in second place. He's not going to make it, but Andy Smith can be proud of his efforts tonight. Finishes in third place there, Andy Smith in yellow. It means that he picks up 6 Grand Prix points, and Andy Smith can be proud of his efforts tonight, because what an effort by that. It takes it to 10 in total, and he's got a fair few riders in the standings now behind him. But Thomas Golub, the Poles are cheering for. He's a delighted man. He faced
the manoeuvre stats back to the inside, down that dirt, low down. When he gets to the straight, he's got to turn too sharp and just not enough speed onto the straight, but almost there, just a little bit more speed onto that straight, and he could have got at least that second place to qualify. But a fabulous try there from Andy. We've seen him do that twice tonight, and Thomas Golub, though, had the measure of them all on that first corner. Andreas Johnson was outside, but Golub now seeming to stamp some authority on this meeting here.
And that is not the lineup for heat number 19, I can tell you. But we should get the right one in a moment. On the inside is Tony Rickardson in this one, the familiar sight of Tony in the red helmet colour on the inside. Billy Hamill goes from gate 2. Todd Wiltshire goes from gate 3. Ryan Sullivan goes from the outside. Tony Rickardson from Sweden. Billy Hamill.
And there's some tough opposition out with him.
Once again, our starting marshal moves away. So do the riders with some purpose here. Picked up in blue by Billy Hamill. Rickardson not having it his own way this time. And Rickardson in trouble because round the outside. Oh, the gate is closed there on Ryan Sullivan by the rider in blue, Billy Hamill. Hamill picks it up. Rickardson now gets back into the challenge. He's in third place. The man in yellow there is Ryan Sullivan. In front in blue, that's Billy Hamill. They're all over the track in this one. And now Rickardson is going to go down the outside. Can he get on terms? He's going to go round the lot if he can. Tony Rickardson, we've got a race here, Peter.
We have. Tony's already up into second place. A fantastic manoeuvre. Ryan Sullivan, super quick Ryan, is out in front of him. Tony's trying everything he knows to get past Billy Hamill there the way he did. That was unbelievable stuff, but Ryan seems to have the better of Tony at this moment.
With a lap to go, it had looked as if Billy Hamill had some comfort. Now it's anything but. Tony Rickardson could even win this from nowhere. Ryan Sullivan's the man in yellow helmet colour in front of him. Tony Rickardson in second place. Both will go to the semi-finals. Remember, both made the final, finished 1 and 2 last time. But in yellow, it's taken there by Ryan Sullivan ahead of Tony Rickardson. His first defeat of the night in red in second place. A real battle between two of the world's top riders there. Ryan Sullivan finished 4th in the series last year. Straight through to the semi-finals will be absolutely delighted. Mark Ram on the inside. Lee Adams, gate 2 from Australia. Rennie Holter from Norway, gate 3 on the outside is Jason Crump.
Whatever he's got is going real quick.
Away goes our starting marshal yet again, and away goes Mark Ram on the inside. The man in blue's with him, Lee Adams, line abreast round the outside. They pick up grip. Look at that man in yellow. What a ride by Jason Crump, bucking and rearing there, but Mark Ram in second place. The challenge on the inside for the man in white, Rudy Holter. Back and rear in blue is Lee Adams. Oh, look at this. Ram now is being pushed out wide. Ram will come again. Another fine race. Look at the man in yellow, Jason Crump, and picking it up in blue on the inside is Lee Adams. They're all having a go here. Mark's back in third. Second place is Adams. Out front in yellow is Crump. Anybody's order. Half a race to go. Ram moves into second place.
Fabulous there, Matt's taken that second place. That's vital to put him into the semi-finals. Jason Crump out front. I don't think he's going to catch Jason. Jason's now riding that wide, fast outside line, riding that dirt, and he is so brave, Tony.
It wasn't easy for Mark Ram. He had to come through the scrub, as they say, but he did so to get through to second place there. He came virtually between Adams and Holter, and now down that back straight, here they come, right there, and Mark Ram almost shielded by the lights, but Jason Crump wins it in yellow. Mark Ram is in second place in red. The Adams in blue will have to go again, as will Rudy Holter. But the big two, Jason Crump and Mark Ram, are automatically through to the semi-finals, and Mark Ram at least assured of one place better than last time. What an effort though. Jason and Tony Rickardson in direct opposition.
And Jason there, he's just got enough room to squeeze between Mark Ram and the fence. Now that is unbelievable. Well, what a fantastic race, and Mark Ram's on fire.
We've seen 20 heats of fabulous. Remember, this is an eliminator. They won't be disgraced, but they may be beaten. The top two go to the semi-finals. Billy Hamill from the USA on the inside. Rudy Holter goes to gate 2. The Pole Peter Protasevich is the man in white, gate 3 on the outside. In red is Billy Hamill. The distance in the blue there. Rudy Holter from Norway. Gate 3 in white, Peter Protasevich. Away they go. A good start by Billy Hamill in red. Coming through on the inside and trying to pick him off is Peter Protasevich. Hamill all over the track. Grip being picked up by the man in blue, Rudy Holter, who's having a good night. Holter in second place, Hamill on the inside. Back in third is Peter Protasevich. Back at the rear is Andreas Johnson now trying to mount a challenge. Remember, the last two are eliminated. The first two to the semis. Oh, Hamill, almost aerobatics there. And he's got a battle as he's passed on the outside by Holter. These are the front two and look like staying there.
This is some race, Tony. Billy Hamill good from the start, but Rudy Holter's reeled him in and got past him, although Billy's not given up there. Big blast round the outside now from Andreas Johnson, who's pulling in now on Billy Hamill.
Well, Johnson is picking the dirt and getting some grip, and Hamill's going to have to watch his way here now because the battle is on in second place. Rudy Holter has stolen the jump on them as they go round and back into the back straight, but here goes Johnson. Hamill closes the gate. Hamill will have to keep battling to hold off Johnson as they approach the checkered flag. This is anybody's race here. Oh, what a race there, and certainly, well, Billy Hamill, I think, just about held his man off, but he had quite a lot to do that. That man in blue there is Rudy Holter, but certainly what a battle we saw. Johnson perhaps not getting that. Rudy Holter in blue will be absolutely delighted with that. And Rudy Holter
going round the outside of Billy Hamill. Billy Hamill's in the red, Holter's on the outside of him in the blue helmet. Onto the straight here, and this is where Holter just sneaks through the gap there to take the lead. And from here on in, really, there was all kinds of action, but Billy Hamill, a little bit naughty here, squeezing Andreas Johnson towards that fence, into the last bend. Andreas Johnson looks as though he's going to get that drive around the outside as they come up towards the checkered flag, but here Billy Hamill has to be hard if he's going to hang on to that, and Andreas Johnson may feel a little bit annoyed there by the tactics of Billy Hamill closing the door on him completely, but that's the difference between getting to the
of the first 10 in the last Grand Prix, all bar Carl Stoney, who are still in this one as we move on to the Heat 22, which is an eliminator. The first two get glory, they go through to the semi-finals. The last two, well, they pick up 8 and 7. Grand Prix 2. Can Lee Adams make it final? Can Lee Adams get across? Let's see what happens. Adams struggles to keep it down on the inside. The man in blue there races well, Todd Wiltshire. Round the outside and trying to pick up grip and getting some speed certainly is Michael Carlson, but now coming through in white is Thomas Golov. The chase is on for Golov. The man out front is Adams in second place in blue. That's Todd Wiltshire, Australia 1 and 2. Thomas Golov, the pole chasing at the back, it's Carlson. Another good race this one.
Lee Adams fast out in front, but look at Golov weaving his way through here. He's got Wiltshire on the outside of him. The fast starting Wiltshire now has been pushed wide. Golub's left him nothing, will just come back to the inside, but Golub, can he get that second place?
The bite a bit by Golub there, certainly the crowd cheering for him as he squeezed out that time by Michael Carlson. Carlson into second place. Adams has stolen a march up front, but still with a lap and a quarter to go. Golub will keep trying. Golub will put his man under pressure. Tom Wiltshire's out of this, but look at the battle for second place. Golub goes through the inside. Oh, down goes the man in yellow. Michael Carlson tumbles out of this one, and that has seen Thomas Golub through to the semi-finals. The heavy dirt really told on Michael Carlson, and in red, Lee Adams wins it. Thomas Golub in white gets second place. Todd Wiltshire in blue, and disappointment for the tumbling Michael Carlson, who crashed out of that one. There may have to be a rerun here with the referee flashing a red light, and they work to odd regulations in the Grand Prix series when Michael Carlson went down, but I don't think he's going to obstruct anybody, and they were on the last lap, Peter.
Yeah, they were. Golub came under Michael Carlson very hard there, but what happened as soon as Michael's bike hit that deep dirt, he seemed to me as though he lost his rear chain, Tony. I'm sure the rear chain this time came off the bike when the bike flexion, all momentum at that point, and here we can see it there. Carlson's bike was sideways, hits the dirt, his rear chain comes off, and down he goes. We do have a serious problem with these chains on these bikes. Somebody needs to make a proper chain guard for these machines, because we're seeing it happen so often, and I'm pretty sure Michael Carlson's okay, but very, very nasty there, very nasty fall. Could have been a lot worse. And here we see it again, the bike sideways, it straightens up, there's no chain on that back sprocket, it's gone, lost all.
Mark Laram, our own Mark Laram, goes on the inside. Remember, this is an eliminator, but the top two go through to the grand final. This is the semi-final. They pick up points, but they want the places in that grand final, because that's where you really pump. Really Holter on the inside. Up by the tapes and away we go. The man in white, Thomas Golub's got a flyer. Golub in yellow on the outside got a flyer. Oh, look, he goes to a space that doesn't even exist, and now goes from last to first. In second place in blue, Mark Laram. Laram could be on his way to the final if it stays like this. Laram is going to be careful. In white on the outside, that's Ryan Sullivan. But look at the man in red. He's making ground two, Ready Holter. But somehow Thomas Golub has stolen a march, and Mark Laram now is surely playing for safety in second place.
Yeah, Mark Laram there looks as though he's got second, but Thomas Golub riding out so wide. Mark Laram's just got to stay ahead now of Ryan Sullivan, who will put him under pressure. Ryan's come under the inside, but I think Mark's just got the speed to nip past. This track allows you to do that, Tony.
Well, he did some funny things, and I saw Mark looking down at his motor. I don't think he was too happy there, and Ryan Sullivan has got the bit between his teeth with that challenge now, because certainly out front, Thomas Golub, the battle is joined here between Mark Laram in blue, Ryan Sullivan in white, but look at the man out front. Thomas Golub this time is at his best, and Thomas Golub certainly here takes the checkered flag with Mark Laram in second place. That's exactly what he wanted, and Mark Laram is through to the final. He said that's what he wanted to do. Thomas Golub is there. Yellow fairing on the front. Lee Adams will be the man going in gate 3, and Jason Crump on the outside again. And Crump will have work to do, but of course we've seen him done it before. It'll be a great Grand Prix series if Ricardo doesn't make the final, but somehow he's Billy Hamill and Thomas Golub both on 6. Away we go, now on the inside Ricardo in red, but this time the challenge from the man in blue, Billy Hamill, and on the inside in white coming through, surprising them all is Lee Adams. We've got another real race on our hands. The gate is shut there, Ricardo there, though, is the man who doesn't give up. He comes through on the inside. In white, it's Lee Adams in front of Ricardo, back in third place in yellow. That's Jason Crump. Crump may not make the final unless he can do something here. Hamill at the back in blue has work to do. White is Adams. Adams could make the final. Oh, look at the battle there in second place, because we're going to see Crump beat Ricardo.
Jason Crump just needs a clear run round the outside. Ricardson's rode really cagey there to keep him out, but Ricardo now going inside Lee Adams, who's led this race from the start. Jason Crump in third.
Into the final lap we go. Can Jason Crump beat fellow Australian Lee Adams? Out front now is Tony Ricardo. Ricardo certain of a place in the final, and here comes the battle into the final bend. In second place, Crump in yellow, Adams in white. Who's going to get it? Crump's coming fast. Crump's coming very fast, and Crump has done it into second place there. What a ride by Jason Crump. Tony Ricardo might be the winner, but Crump, a real surprise on Lee Adams, who had second place for the taking, and Lee Adams in the end had to take it in third in white, and Jason Crump is through to the final, and well.
All the time Rickardsson was plugging away. Rickardsson takes it, and Jason Crump follows Rickardsson through past Lee Adams right on the line.
The best possible position. Let's get across now. Come on, Mark. We're not supporting anybody else, or I'm not here. Let's get across to the commentary team. I've not got a bias, have I? Tony.
Well, Mark's not won a Grand Prix since Sweden in '99. He was a wild card there. Let's see what happens here. Away they go. 1, 2, 3. Who's going to make it in blue here? Tony Rickardsson. The ram up the inside. Depends where the grip is. In white, Golub picks it up. 9 abreast. Tail off for the back in yellow. That's Jason Crump, but we know what he can do. Mark Laram's in 3rd place. The leader in white, Thomas Golub, to the cheers of the poles. Rickardsson chasing him in 2nd place. Mark Laram back in 3rd. Still anybody's race. Laram moves into 2nd, but again picked up by Rickardsson, and Laram's got work to do.
Golub's riding absolutely perfectly at the moment. He's holding Rickardsson behind, but Rickardsson looks as though he's going to sneak by him. Golub doesn't look particularly fast here, and Rickardsson is all over him.
Mark Laram trying to make ground. The man in white, Thomas Golub out front. Tony Rickardsson, the world champion, Norwegian Grand Prix winner. They go into the final lap with plenty still to race for. Golub picking up grip as he goes wide. Rickardsson in 2nd place. Laram 3rd. Still anybody's race down the back straight. Golub stealing a march ahead of Rickardsson. Laram back in 3rd place. No problems at the back. Crump's not in this. But look at the winner in white. Thomas Golub sneaks it ahead of Tony Rickardsson. Mark Laram and Jason Crump in that order. What a race for Thomas Golub. 7 rides tonight, 7 races, but it's that one that matters, and good sportsmanship because he's congratulated there. There's 3 men, good and true, who are going to make the rostrum. Thomas Golub takes it ahead of Tony Rickardsson in blue, and Mark Laram is the man in red in 3rd place, but the polls know who's won it. Thomas Golub has won his 7th Grand Prix, his 4th Grand Prix in Poland. Could this be the year now for Thomas Golub, who's come back? Disappointment on to 32 and in with a shout. Thomas Golub is the winner here tonight, and the polls are going to let us know. And Bydgoszcz is certainly going to go mad here tonight for Thomas Golub's celebrations. Look at that, Mina.
Yeah, the noise, Tony, it's unbelievable here for Thomas Golub. And what a ride, what a win. He's come through the traffic all night.
I got something from the night because I felt I rode well and everything went pretty good. So it would have been a shame for me not to get a result. So I'm pleased with the rostrum place.
And it's a track that you're familiar with as well because you race here a lot. Do you think that helped you out tonight?
Yeah, that's right. Maybe it did a little bit, you know. I mean, I don't tend to read too much into it because it's such hard competition. But, you know, I ended up enjoying it. It was good.
Excellent. Well done. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
That was really not. We didn't obviously get the victory, but we were very pleased with the result here.
It was a very exciting race. I mean, it was incredible.
Yeah, we were really close, and I thought that I could pass him, but Thomas rode a superb race, and I couldn't pull any really good moves on him.
I know there's lots of rivalry between you guys, but you must be happy for Thomas because, hey, he's the god here.
Yeah, he sure is, and he really deserved it. He had a tough meeting. He started from the beginning and struggled a little bit all the way through it, but in the final where it counts, he came out really good.
What will you take away from the meeting? Here he is, in fact. Mr. Golub, I see you smiling now.
Yeah, no, it's very good. I'm very happy tonight. It's 1st place.
You must
it's
be.
only second one. No problem.
You must be. Now, you had a little bit of trouble earlier on. You were fine-tuning your engines right up to the last minute. But in the semis, you were superb. I mean, you just took it.
Yeah. It's 2 hits. First is no problem. The 3rd is bike. It's problem ignition in papa. You change bike, you change sprocket. It's very quick engine.
You must be absolutely delighted. What are you going to say to your fans? Because they went crazy and they will be mad.
I'm very happy. I'm very lucky and my people. It's good to see you. This first win is my people in Bydgoszcz and every people in Polish.
I'm in Bydgoszcz.
Big thumbs up to the camera, Thomas. Well done. And here, he's the winner, and I've got his autograph. Well done, Thomas. Thanks a lot.